casual or full-time is too low. So, it only takes a coffee shop to have 10 casuals and 5 full-time staff, and it's deemed to be a small business.
Just picking up from the idea of the individual and individual freedoms, I think small business is very much the microcosm of the idea of individual. It's the microcosm of the way you think you operate, your own way you want to grow, and how far you grow and how fast you want to grow. And that when the individual wants to grow faster and then broader, the regulation comes always on the top to cap the growth, and the individual or the organization or the small business have to think twice where the cap is, how much far further they can grow, and then they say, no, I don't want to grow from here further because the regs are much heavier on me from there onwards. And in a way, it is disincentivizing the individual to be wealth creator, jobs creator, and people who are supporting the communities as well. The more you have, the more you will give.
That's right.
So how do you see that, the regulation capping the growth on the idea of individual?
I think regulation should be based around predominantly safety. We need to have safe workplaces. But in terms of regulation, which constrain the growth of businesses, like payroll tax, it's not a safety regulation. It's simply a tax on company growing, or land tax. It doesn't have any sort of operational benefit to the business. So I think regulation should be only apply to regulate, to ensure that we have safe workplaces, and that's important, and that didn't really exist 20, 30 years ago. So, but you're dead right, and I also think that the definition of a small business, which is currently 15 employees, casual or full-time, is too low. So, it only takes a coffee shop to have 10 casuals and 5 full-time staff, and it's deemed to be a small business. So regulation really cuts in this country at that 15 level for things like unfair dismissal, for things like a redundancy payment. So I think this is, what we're really saying is within this 0 to 15, you've got a bit of a free flight area. I think that should be much higher. I think it should be as high as 50 staff members. And it shouldn't be including casuals, it should be FTE count. So 3 people doing a third should be 1, not 3 people. And I think that would then give breathing space for small businesses to invest. I think small businesses...
And creates more innovation also, because if you have extra cash flow, more people to run your business, you can innovate better. And you're more competitive, you can deliver a better price point, deliver product at a better price point.
That's right. I think for small business ought to be quite happy. Like interest rates now, 6-7% for small business. I mean, all through my time in business, that was fantastic. So the cost of capital now, and now the last 4 or 5 years, which is fundamental to a small business. Say you're going to start. I only went yesterday in Subiaco, and there was a guy starting. It was called Nautical, and it was acai bowls and things. And it was about a $300,000 setup. An Indian gentleman actually, working on a Sunday. And he would have had to got capital for that, I imagine. So now this is one of the great benefits of the Costello-Howard time, where business rates were stable, and having stable capital costs to borrow money. Because most people who start up a business, well, then maybe if they start up, but if they acquire a business, or even if they're going to start a cafe, or they're going to start an engineering or maintenance business, they're going to need some sort of capital where they probably haven't got. They can either go to mum and dad, or they can go and get a business loan of some kind. So I think critical to this re-regulation space is also stability of the cost of capital, which was something that was very... I knew when I was raising capital that I would have a relative degree of certainty of that time. So when I was doing my business model, I knew, what playing field I was in. And so I think now businesses actually do have relatively stable cost of capital, but it's their labour costs that are so high that I probably did not experience in my time.